Hi friends, my name is Rick and welcome to my Cape Cod life. Right now, we're in the basement. That's where I start all my seedlings. Today, we're going to be talking about tomatoes for the 2024 season. So I'm going to go over the varieties of tomatoes that I'm growing. Some are new, some are old standbys. So let's get it started. This is my all-time absolute favorite tomato. It is the Brandywine pink. This is a big old beefsteak tomato. They can get huge. I love them. It's like the best tomato taste. You balance of sweet and acid. It's meaty. It makes a beautiful tomato sandwich. Like one slice will cover that bread. I love these. I usually refer to it as the quintessential tomato, and a lot of people agree with me. They are delicious. They are very persnickety in growing though, so you're not going to get high yields. And if that's what you need, you might want to look at other varieties, but I'll always have room for at least one of these plants. Now, next. And this one looks very similar because it is a beefsteak, and this is a Belgian farmer's beefsteak. So that looks like a beautiful tomato, maybe a little more red than the pink Brandywine, but those look good, and I've actually never heard of them before, so and they were free, so I'm growing them. And here's another beefsteak. I've been wanting to try this one for a little bit, the Granny Cantrell. So this is a new to me, but these can get really big too, up to 2 pounds sometimes. So it looks really delicious, and we'll see if I agree with all the people who rave about these. So this one I'm excited to try for the first time. All right, what do we have next? So this one is, this is a semi-indeterminate. It's the Ace 55. It's a slicer tomato, so it'll be smaller than those big old beefsteaks. And that's the packet that I'm actually gonna save because I have seeds that I got in a swap through CNC Farm. It's a YouTube channel, you should check her out. Hi, Ashley. Anyhow, so I got those in the seed swap, and I'll save that pack for sharing or swapping with somebody else late down the road. All right, so this one looks like it's probably a beefsteak as well. This is called Vintage Wine. I just think that was a really pretty streaky tomato. And that'll look good in my caprese salad with all these other ones. I can't wait. So this one's new to me, and I didn't bring my cheetahs, so I don't know how big these get, but I reckon they probably get at least a pound or up to a pound. I agree with these ones. They weren't the biggest tomatoes. This is Black Seaman, and they're very tasty. I think they're in the purple tomato family, so I'm looking forward to having those again in the garden. This is probably my second favorite tomato ever, and that's the Paul Robeson. And I just think that's a beautiful tomato. Look at that burgundy bottom with those green shoulders. That's what I call a sexy tomato. So I'm looking forward to that. Another new, there's so many different varieties, and I want to grow as many as I can. But this year we're going to try Thorburns Terracotta. It's an orangey pink tomato, but it looks stunning. So I'm sure that is going to be good on a sandwich as well. I am actually going to do a hybrid. I usually do Better Boys, but this is Best Boy, and those usually do very well. Well, I don't know. I know Better Boys do. I mentioned Best Boy is just kind of like a different version of that. And I'm hoping, sometimes I like to grow a hybrid just to, and they're tasty. There's nothing wrong with a hybrid. And they'll just give you more tomatoes. Better Boys are very good producers. I tried growing these Best Boys last year. What had happened is I ended up stunting a lot of my plants last year. Yeah, like I'm a rookie or something. So those didn't make it to the garden. I ended up buying some Better Boy plants somewhere. But I'm looking forward to trying those. It's good to have a hybrid every once in a while. This is the Ukrainian purple. It's a plum-shaped tomato, but it's considered a slicer because there's a lot of gel and seeds. It's supposed to be very flavorful, very prolific. It's definitely in the purple family, so I am looking forward to trying those. All right, what do we have? Dun, 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 dun. Does that bring us to cherry tomatoes? Okay, so the first cherry tomato, and I either grow these chocolate cherries or the black cherry. They're very similar to me. And this is the one I have this year. I love these. They do really well in my garden. And they're sweet and they taste really good. And I have a couple of new cherries that I'm trying. This one is called Napa Chardonnay. And this is it looks like a very nice little yellow cherry tomato. So that'll give me some nice color in my salads. And then the final cherry tomato I have is red centiflora. Now, centiflora cherry tomatoes, they have these branches, these trusses that can have like 50, 100 blooms on it. And most of them turn to fruit. They're amazing. I grew a yellow version known as Brad's Crazy Cherry Tomato, and so many tomatoes. So this is very similar to that, except it's a red tomato, or red cherry tomato. So those are the varieties I'm growing in 2024. I have planted some micro dwarf and some dwarf tomatoes as well. For the micro dwarf, what I have, or what germinated, was all my orange hats were like 100% germination, so I have a bunch of those. And I think I have 3 red robins and 1 birdie rouge. A lot of them didn't germinate for me. I mean, they may still show up. They're still, I'm just leaving them in the tray and see what happens. But at this point, I'm abandoning hope. So it is what it is. Those micro dwarfs will be going into the green stock. I also planted 2 dwarf tomatoes. I did the Arctic Rose and I did the Tiny Tim. And they'll grow about 3 or 4 feet. I believe they're both determinants, but I could be wrong on that. And so that's like a great patio or container tomato, and that's how we're going to pretty much use that. I'll be sharing some of those with friends as well. So that wraps up what I'm growing for tomatoes this year in 2024. What varieties are you growing this year? Please leave me some comments. I'm very curious. If you're new here, welcome so much. I hope you consider subscribing. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate that. If you like this video, you know what to do. You hit the like and, that kind of stuff. And then, comments. I want to know what you're growing. And, as always, my Cape Cod life.